my scrappy friends. I have a layout that I made like a really long time ago, like last year, and I haven't shared it with you guys. So I thought, hey, what the heck? Since I don't have as much stuff that I'm making, I thought I would share this. So I believe that I used some of like some parts from some kits that I had and some stuff that I've already had. So this picture was taken in the springtime, early summer, when our lilacs were blooming. I like to take them and cut some of them and bring them inside because they smell really wonderful. They don't last very long once you cut them and put them inside, but lilacs really don't last that long anyway. So I love to have flowers in the house. It's just one of those things that makes me happy. So any of our flowering plants that we have, and we don't have that many, but we have some dahlias, and then we have the lilacs. And so I like to cut them and kind of like bring them in. So that is what I did, and I took a picture. It's in the window, and I just really thought that paper from Maggie Holmes, the lemon paper, I just thought it looked really, really super cute, and the yellow contrasted with the purple, and so it just makes a really fun layout. So I've done designs like this where you have like less than half of the one side is one paper and then the other side is another paper. And then you just kind of add some embellishments along that line to kind of help blend it together, if you will. And so, but I'm also adding tons of layers to that cluster where my photo is. I mean, this is just what I do. It's really nothing new as opposed to, it's just taking bits and pieces, tags, papers, embellishments, and just kind of adding them to behind the photo and around the photo, and it just makes for a fun little cluster, and it just gives dimension to the papers, and it's just fun. So I kind of play around with this a bit. I mean, as you can see, I have quite a bit of this, and I don't really know why it took so long to make this layout, considering I have a lot already done and at 3 minutes, and yet I guarantee it's going to take me a lot longer. I think I kind of play around with where I want to put that flare button. That flare button is from, gosh, what's her name? She's in Canada, and she does some really awesome flares. And I had gotten a whole bunch because we did a thing with Spiegel Mom Scraps and her, and so I had bought a whole bunch of them. And there's this purpley flower watercolory like a very artsy flare, and I thought that it went really well with the pink and that lemon paper and with the artsy look of the cocoa vanilla. So oh yeah, so I'm just finding chipboard, finding things to add, because really this is where your layouts kind of come alive, is when you start looking for embellishments and looking for pieces that can really just help with those little pockets of clusters. And I think I cut out some, or no, they were stamps and books and stuff from the Maggie Holmes thing. And so I'm just kind of playing around, but I move a lot of stuff around. I do remember that, like, I move a lot of stuff around because I'm not really sure. How do I want it? I want this to look really fun. I really like that purpley bird. It matches a little bit with my lilacs. I went all out with this. I'm not gonna lie. So I will say I'm not a fan of doing voiceovers this long after I have made the layouts. So I don't think I have too many more that are really old, but I do have a couple of things that I've made and I just didn't get my videos done. So like I said, I just kind of play around. Though I kind of wish I had kept that chipboard piece underneath um, where that layer was. But, you know, of course, I'm going to look for more stuff because like more is better in this case, I guess. And I think part of what I was thinking is I didn't use a lot of this so far, so I really wanted to make sure that I got use out of all the embellishments and everything, because I mean there's so many. And I find like with the Maggie Holmes ones, some of them are really big, and so it's kind of hard to figure out exactly how you want to use it. So if you cut them up, then, oh, I don't like that color. I don't know if I keep it or not. I know in the end it ended up turning out really amazing. I just feel like that's a little too blue though, compared to, and I know some of these flowers I just cut the leaves off. So I just use the leaves, and that is perfectly okay to do. If you're not a big flower, like I'm not super flowery, um, like I will use some flowers, but I'd rather use the leaves than the flowers. And so, you know, if you know that and you get a big pack, it's okay if just a couple of them you decide to not use the whole thing. It is okay. I promise. No one is going to come and tell you that you have to use every little bit and piece. So just use the, I guess for today, my a little bit of advice is to just use the pieces that you know you want to use, and don't feel bad about regifting embellishments that you know someone else will use, or like I said, cutting it up and just having a little bit of it showing. It is definitely going to be okay. So I'm just working on the layering. Man, guys, this is a long video. I wish I could tell you more of what was going on in my head, except for really when I do this, I am just looking to see how things look when I fit them into the layer. Like, how are these edges working with the other edges? And that is really the thought process that goes in my head. So this is why I find it so hard sometimes to scrapbook when my brain is tired, because it's harder to see how those edges work together. And it's not even that like it takes like a lot of focus and brain power, but it's just being observant enough to see and really get that feel of how those different edges play against one another. And so when I do these clusters, I really am looking, and I know it's super hard to see exactly, but I really like that cluster up at the top where I took some washi tape and then I took the tag and then I ended up adding part of the flower. And so that brings in the blue down to the blue where the leaves are that I didn't like because I don't think they really match, but that's okay. Because I think now that I've added a few of those colors, it kind of works together, right? So, and that is the thing, is it's okay to add an extra color that isn't on your layout if you start adding more pieces somewhere else that kind of go with it and complement each other. So yeah, I feel like I needed to speed this up a little bit more. So I apologize for just how long this video feels. But I really worked hard to get, and this is one of those layouts that I just did. I didn't use a kit. I just put my stuff together and I just had fun. And sometimes that is necessary. Sometimes if all you do is use a kit, you kind of lose this, that there's something that gets lost in just putting whatever feels like, whatever you feel like you want to use, whatever makes you happy. I mean, and obviously if your kits make you happy, don't stop using them. But so I'm going to take that pretty little studio tag flag thing and I'm going to use that on my layout because it's going to help bring a little bit more yellow in. I really like that beautiful tag too. I love that collection. It was very artsy and fun. I used the heck out of that. And let me tell you, I love those stickers up at the top. I love that color. I love that brassy coppery color. I really, really hope that that stays for a little while. So I wish I could tell you what the title of is, and I think I might have just said Fresh Lilacs, but I'm not positive. So I'm using those tiles. I think those are from Pretty Little Studio, and then these ones from Crepe Paper. They're just really fun. So I tend to hoard the thickers that I really love because I get so sad when they're all gone. But really, I think the key is to use the stuff that you love, because if you let it sit around, then something else that you love is going to show up, and then you're going to forget about the things that you love, and then you end up with all the stuff that you loved, but it's not as cool and fun to use because it's not new. So when you get new stuff, use it. And use all the good stuff. Use all the stuff that you love. So I think I'm almost done. I am so sorry this is not in the, like, you can't see me doing the title. I think I said Stop and Smell the Lilacs. I believe that is what the title is. So it's really pretty. I love that combination of the tiles, and they kind of fit around the copper ones, and I was still trying to use all that. You know. And then I'm going to add this with a staple, because those little mini staples are so stinking cute, aren't they? So I am almost done with this. I think I'm just going to stop rambling, because in a minute you're going to see some close-ups of this. And I hope that you guys are having fun. I hope you guys get a chance to just play with stuff that you absolutely love, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will see you guys later. Bye.